welcome to the award-winning podcast, Whimsy with a Z. I'm your host, Ben. I'm here with Danielle today.
Hey,
How are you doing, Danielle?
what's up?
How we doing? Before we
Good.
started, you were like, I'm super excited. Doing very good. What's going on?
Actually, nothing much. I'm just really happy lately. And yesterday, I went to go watch the Demon Slayer movie.
Dude, that movie made like $33 million this weekend.
I know, right?
That's
It was worth it though. Well worth it.
was it good?
Very good.
Very cool.
Very, very good.
It's the largest grossing anime uh box office in the US. So very cool. I did not know it was coming out. So do you think they should release more anime? Like mainstream? Like would you go to the movie theaters for more anime?
Yes, I would. I definitely would, especially for like animes I really like.
Yeah.
There's been a lot
Um
of anime movies coming out recently though, like Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, and then there's a Chainsaw Man coming out soon.
there is a Chainsaw Man. Um who'd you go with?
My dad.
Does he like Demon Slayer?
He got me into it.
Oh, very cool.
And, like,
Oh, very
actually,
nice.
though, he didn't, like, watch it before me. He just, like, started watching it one day because he's like, "Huh, I heard this was good." And then I watched it with them, and I got more into it than they did, so I just, like, zoomed by it in, like, 2 days, and I loved it.
Nice. Very cool. Very nice. So what was funny is I didn't expect it, but like three of you guys were all excited about this guest. Like you guys bringing on a friend or a guest. Um, so we're gonna probably do it next month. So do you have somebody that you're gonna bring on?
Yes and no, because she hasn't gave me an immediate answer,
Okay.
and she is listening to the podcast, so
Oh, very cool. Very nice. Um, I'm still working out and I'll let you guys know soon. I got like 4 weeks to figure it out. Um, but I'll send you some questions so that way they can be a little bit prepared about roughly where we're gonna go on the episode.
yeah,
But
because she said she'll think about it, she just wants to know, like, what's happening,
yeah,
so
do you have any suggestions on what we should cover with a friend?
not really.
Where do we know this friend from?
I've known her for 5 years, but I've
Okay,
never met her in real life.
okay, so okay, from school and social media.
Guys, met her on a game,
Oh, very nice. Okay,
and then we just, like, been friends for, like, the last 5 years, so
I, that's how a lot of it happens now. All right, so this month I sent you guys some questions. So it'll probably be like slightly structured one month and then a little bit crazy, like willy nilly the next month. But I thought since it's still kind of early in the school year, and then again season two, so the idea that new people can come in and or if anything changes from year to year. So like in theory, if we do the same questions again next year, it'd be or when you get into high school, um, it'll be interesting to see if any of the questions change a little bit as you kind of grow up. But we're looking at like student culture and academic pressure this month. So we kind of talked about a lot of school stuff last year, but like it was a little bit all over the place. So I was going to try to structure it just a little bit this month, and kind of just get an idea of uh, your views on school itself, not necessarily your opinions of like well, I don't know how to explain it, but you and Dean are going to be interesting because you guys both do online school. So I would be curious to see what the difference is between you and then Alice and Mark. So, um, what does your typical day look like? So you go to school online. So what time do you get up? What is your morning routine? What does your day look like?
Okay. Now see, this is a little different because I have a different schedule. For Monday and Wednesday is the same, and then Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday are different from Monday and Wednesday.
Okay.
So on Monday and Wednesday, I have what is it? I think art. I have art. So because of that, I only have homeroom for Monday and Wednesday, so I don't have to go to school that early. So
Okay.
I usually wake up for Mondays and Wednesdays, I wake up around 7:45, and then I have my first class at 8:15. It's pretty easy to get ready in the morning because it's like online. Like no one really cares about your appearance, and you don't have to be on camera, so you could just like throw on pajamas, just brush your teeth, maybe eat breakfast, and then there you go. There's how you get ready. But like, so I have it's kind of easy. So on my computer, my school computer, there's like a whole website for my school. It's a whole platform that they made. Um, There's, like, the grades, the courses, the links to the live sessions. I It's obviously you have to go there. So I have homeroom on Monday, Wednesday, and then I have art, and then I have a really long break until, like, 10:30, because my art ends at, like, 9:30.
Okay.
Um,
So what do you do during that hour?
Sleep, I don't know. It gives me
I'm
extra
all
sleep.
about
I
the
get
hour
long
nap.
breaks. It's actually not that hard. So that's and then I just have my other classes. The other classes are the same after my elective. So it's elective, and then it's science, history, math, and then ELA, and that's the end of my day. So
Okay.
I only have class and I only have school until like 2:30, which is like pretty good because kids in person get off at like 4-ish.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not one of those kids. I can't survive another 2 hours, unfortunately.
What do you do the rest of the day then?
Regular day, like go on my phone, play with my brother and his friends, sleep, eat, not really anything interesting.
All
Just
right.
go up and go about my day unless I have like an event coming up, like
Okay.
something like that.
Real quick, I'm distracted. You have the gnome hanging up in your room.
Yeah. My dad recently put that TV up. I don't know if you noticed, I didn't have that before.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I just put him
So,
on the cords. He's just there.
uh, so we got some more gnome stuff coming. Probably November-ish. So yeah, you have a small collection of hanging gnomes. So
Yeah.
did you just take it?
Yeah.
Like, is it like
I
for the?
know. When I
Yeah,
saw it, I was like, yeah, no, it's not any of your guys's, it's mine now.
very cool. Okay. Yeah, I just saw it. And I was like, that's so cool. I'm like, I never see him out in the wild. Um, let's see. How much pressure do you feel to get good grades and prepare for college? Do you feel any of that pressure yet?
I do have pressure to get good grades. I don't really have pressure for college yet. Well, the good grades is kind of for college too because I want to get into a good college. 'Cause I feel like I've been doing good at that with my grades. Because like I set kind of high standards for myself. I'm gonna be honest, I cry if I have anything under an 85 in any of my classes. I just don't like the thought or feeling of me getting like lower than 85. So I try to do my best, just like set standards. I even do extra work in some of my
Uh,
classes if it's there. So I just like want to keep my grade up.
is that pressure mostly the pressure you put on yourself to do well, or does like the school kind of like add some of that pressure, or like really promote the importance of the good grades?
It's me that wants the good grades, but if it's like a really hard project, then it'll be school that I have to get done by like a certain time.
Uh,
And I want to make sure it's like good so I get a good grade on it. So
uh, does your teacher ever talk? Like, do you ever get one-on-one time with your teacher to kind of go over your grades and how well you're doing in class?
depends if I ask for it. If you ask for it in my school, then they'll go into like a private session with you.
So you could conceivably never talk to your teacher one-on-one all year.
Well, I have already before, so. But yes, if a kid doesn't need it, then yeah, I guess.
Do you ever reach out to your teacher to ask for any kind of chit chat, or
Yeah, I do.
what do you typically ask about or talk about?
If I have absence and, like, I miss something, I wanna know about, like, what was the project about, if, like, I missed, like, the lesson about it. I wanna know that stuff, and then if, like, I don't like my grade or something, I'll go in, like, a room with my teacher, and they'll, like, help me through it with, like, my
Do you
test.
get like super shitty? Like, why did you give me this grade, and then get all like defensive?
No, sometimes I'll get petty because Imma tell you this, I like all my teachers except for one of them. My art teacher has been pissing me off lately. I had to send her, like, 15 different emails about that grade of mine.
What are you doing in art?
Draw. I can show you one of my projects that I did recently.
Yes, please.
I have 2. Hold on, Imma go get it from my mom because I gave
Okay.
it to her after. I have another one right there. Give me one momento.
Yep.
Okay, guys, I'm back. See? Okay, so for she usually gives us 2 projects a week. Um, so the first one was this one, it was we're, like, learning about value slash shading, so I did a shade scale. Doesn't look that good, it's not that organized, I swear, but
Okay.
this one's the one I'm proud of. So, since, again, shading's value, I drew this.
Oh, some roses, some flowers.
It's a tulip.
Oh, that's fucking sick. So I was thinking about it because I enjoy art. Because when I went to a con recently, and I what I've decided I want to do is that every con I go to, I'd like to talk to one of the artists, and I would like to start building like an art collection. So I started doing that, and then like part of me wants to like I started chatting with Alice just a little bit, and I'm gonna try and figure something out. But I think what I want to try and do is see if you and Alice would make something like Whimsy related, and then like I'm just talking out loud yet. I haven't worked out all the details, but I would, in theory, what I'd like is draw, color, paint something, right? Whimsy related, and then what I would want to try and do is like make an artist print of it, and then I want to send those out for one of the Patreon gifts. So like, kind of get like, so I would keep the original because that's what I'll pay you for. But then I would still make like digital copies of it, and then that way, like the people who subscribe or listen, they can have a copy of some of your guys' stuff. I don't know what that looks like yet, but think about it. I might start commissioning you to make me some cool shit. 'Cause I think it would be interesting to see what you guys come up with. Would you be interested in that?
Yes.
You're gonna be okay with me like making digital copies of it, and then like printing them on like good cardstock, and then sending them to people?
Sure.
You get your first official like commissioned artwork.
I'd
How
have to
crazy
think
is
of
that?
ideas, though.
Do you digital draw at all, or is it all just pen and paper?
It's all just pen and paper.
Have you ever had a desire to try to draw digital?
Not really.
Okay. I was curious. I'm just trying to figure out where you guys are at. That's super cool. I like the art. I was never good at it.
Everyone has their hidden talents.
uh, like I can't like there's probably a lot of art classes I've barely passed. I barely got my box made. I had to make a box in 7th grade. Uh um what is one thing you wish your teachers understood better about students?
good question. I don't know, cause in my school, you can't really tell if, like, a kid isn't paying attention or not, so, like, the teacher doesn't know what they want or not.
Mhm.
Um, but from my experience, Imma do it my experience from both in public and online. In
Okay.
public, I felt like a lot of kids there wanted the teacher to understand that, like, they're tired, they don't wanna do it. But, like, obviously, you still have to, cause if you wanna go to a better college, get grades, you have to. But, like, sometimes I feel like kids I feel like they need more of a break sometimes, especially with, like, their mindset. I feel like some mindsets are, like, really harsh on themselves.
Okay.
So I feel like teachers should understand, like, that kids need more of a break. I feel like you don't get that in public school that much, but and,
Right.
like, for me, in that's why I like online better. I get a lot of breaks to, like, rest and calm
Mhm.
down. Um, but then with in public I mean, in, online, I feel like a lot of kids, they don't like to pay attention in it because how do I explain this? It's kind of harder too than in person. 'Cause there's
Because
not
it
a
does
lot of
seem like it's
difference.
hard to engage you, because like
Oh, yeah.
like you and I are okay now, but if there was like 30 more kids on here, but okay, hold on. That's not a good example because I'm pretty engaging. I would keep everybody involved. So does the teacher kind of just like read? Does it seem like they're just reading through a script? Like like we're talking about whatever today, and we're just going to talk about this happened. Here's the date. Here are the people that were involved. Here are the effects and the cause and the effects of this event, and then kind of just like real boring.
Nah. Well, sometimes, like, for the slides, they make slideshows for, like, what
Yeah.
we're learning about. They do that, but they don't, like, plan out what they're gonna say. They just, like, go
Mhm.
along with it, and they're my teachers, again, in online school, I've been in this school for, I think, 2 years, 3, 2, I don't know. Um, they're pretty chill. Like, they just go with it. They laugh sometimes, they make jokes, which I really like.
Okay.
They're pretty calm.
Okay.
And a lot of my teachers on here, they understand that kids, like, again, with their mindset, they, give them a lot of breaks. Like, a
Okay.
lot of my teachers, like, I have 45-minute classes or 30-minute classes. They will let us out, like, a little early to give us, like, an extra, break an extra break.
Okay. Very nice. How do social groups work online? Like, obviously, if you're in person, you have all your cliques, right? You got all your different type of people, and you can like they all kind of gather in in like a different corner of the school. How does that work online? Like, if you wanted to get into an art group or club of some kind, or find other people who are interested in drawing, is it easy for you to find those type of people?
Yes, but for all other online schools, I don't know because, again, you know how I told you that my school has, like, their own platform?
Yeah, yeah.
So with that, they, often make, like, little clubs, like, there's a art club, they often post
Okay.
their arts on there. I'm pretty sure there's, like, a chess club or something like that on there.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Very nice.
there's a lot of clubs on there that you can join, and it's, like, virtual, and you can just that. There's also, like, sometimes they'll start, like, fun groups on, like, Fridays or, like, the weekends. Um, they do, like, different rooms, like, with online, you can make different
Hmm.
explain it. It's a whole room, like a whole session, but there's
Right, right.
different types. Like you can go in a room with the one certain teacher and then that one. On Fridays we have that and there'll be like game talk, art, cooking class, that stuff.
It sounds
And
like
then there's also electives. So
okay. It sounds like a very early version of like the internet, like when you used to have like old different chat rooms. So like your school platform sounds like, hey everybody, come hang out in this chat room. We'll just talk about whatever.
yeah,
Uh,
for the people
oh,
who
that's
want.
pretty cool. Oh, very nice. Are you part of any of those clubs or groups?
No,
Why not?
I don't know.
Like, there's not an anime group in there? You can't
No,
find 4 other girls that go freak out and talk, like, nerd anime boy stuff?
no.
Have you thought
I
about
know there's
starting
an
your own
opposite
club?
interest group, but there's also, like, a technology group. That sounds kinda fun to me, but,
Okay.
nah, I'm good. I'd rather just stick to school, and I don't feel like going in a club. I already have
But
electives.
you wouldn't wanna, like, once a week on a Wednesday, just hang out with, like, 6 people and talk about the most recent episode of Demon Slayer? Like, wouldn't you wanna be able to talk to somebody about Demon Slayer for, like remember how, like, when you and Alice and Pinky were talking, wouldn't you want, like, once a week, just hang out with the girls and just, like, giggle about whatever?
I mean, yes, but it depends if it's a big group, I don't wanna be a part of it. 'Cause in big
Can
groups,
you
I start getting anxious,
yeah.
and then I don't have room to talk.
Can you limit it, the group, to be like, "I'm looking for 4 people to talk Demon Slayer," and put a cap on the room?
Maybe, I mean, to do that, again, the school makes the things, so it, like,
Yeah.
basically depends on them. But, I mean,
Okay.
I've seen a couple people in the chat, like, the actual just, like in actual classes, they're like, "Hey, does anyone wanna be my friend or talk about this someday?" I'm like, "Sure." I had a couple friends on there because of that.
Okay, alright. Um, let's see. I think this one is pretty obvious. Have you ever felt left out or judged at school?
Definitely.
So how are you judged when you're online?
If you type in the chat and if someone doesn't like what you said because, again, people are picky and judgy and bitchy sometimes. They
Right.
like, "I don't like that," and they start, like, being petty for no damn reason. I've seen it more in person, though. Like, online,
Okay.
it's kind of harder because sometimes you don't have to talk, you just keep your own thoughts to yourself.
Right.
And in person, that's kinda harder to do that. But, yeah, you can get left out of the group, like, I actually going back to the other question kinda relates to it. Again, one of those, like, session groups where it was, like, different, rooms in one session. I was in an anime group, but I accidentally said something that they didn't like, and I was so embarrassed, and they started, like, I don't know, eggshelling me. They were being rude to me. So and, like, I just didn't wanna speak after that, and they started talking about other stuff, like, anime related, and I just didn't feel like I was the type of anime person to belong there anymore. Cause like, they didn't even try to accept that I made a mistake.
Right.
And no, I'm not saying
No.
a mistake on here because
Right. This episode goes viral. They're like, "Oh my god, look at her." Um, but is your first instinct when you say something like that and they start emojiing you, is it your first instinct to be like, it's they're doing it, like, meanly? Like, they're like 'cause, like, if I do something and I'm hanging out with my friends and I say something stupid, like, we'll give each other a hard time and be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you said that. You're stupid," and kinda just joke about it
yeah,
and
like,
kinda just have fun
like, actually, like, being mean. Yeah, no,
yeah.
I know the difference because I have an older brother.
Okay.
I don't exactly like, "That was rude." Like, if someone like, if again, the example with me and Dean, if he like if I stutter a lot, he'll like, "Why are you stuttering so much? You have like a speech impediment or something?" I
Right.
know that's teasing because yeah, he knows that I don't actually have like a speech
Right.
impediment or something. But like with kids that you don't know, if they like start being mean because like again, if you stutter, they're gonna be like,
Right.
"You're so weird. Speak normal English," because that's actually mean. And then they just like
Okay.
if it like goes on, if it's like dragged a lot, then that's actually being mean
Okay. Okay.
to me at least.
See, I don't think I would do good because I joke a lot. So if because it's hard to convey tone via text sometimes or in a chat. So my first instinct would be like make a joke and I wouldn't mean anything about it, like negatively. But if it's uh you know, because obviously you're gonna be a little self-conscious about it because you're already feeling embarrassed that you made a silly or embarrassing comment. So obviously the first thing you see is like, oh my god, they hate me now. All right. Interesting. I like it. Um, how do students usually respond to authority figures like teachers and principals? Like being online. if you're just goofing off or like distracting the chat and the teacher tells you to stop, like, do you give a shit?
Yes. I'm not I swear I'm not that type of person unless it's like if someone got me really interested in what they're talking about, I will talk about it. But if the teacher tells me to stop, I will. But what I've seen in chats, sometimes they don't stop, okay? Sometimes there's a fight. I've seen my best friend get into fights with many people on there. It's not even funny. She like gets a phone call, like the teachers actually call her parents. But
Oh,
if
okay.
like there's certain levels, I think if it's like you don't stop within like 3 strikes, they won't like they won't call your parents. I feel like that's a little too extreme at the moment. But,
Hmm.
like, for me online, they again, the teachers can turn off the chats.
Hmm.
So if, like, they're being too weird and they want the teacher, like, absolutely wants them to pay attention, they can turn it off, and then no more goofing off in the chat. But then if it's, like, going off speaker, like, every single second to say something silly, I think that's, like, to the point where, they'll call parents.
Okay. But do you think most people, because I know like 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 when I was in school, like I was always a talker and like distracted and like a class clown. So like the teacher would always yell at me. So then I'd obviously quiet down. Do you think kids are like, do you think they accept that authority? I mean, like before they turn off the chat, like they're like, please knock it off, stop it before I call your mom. Like, do you see them like respecting that the teacher as the authority, or they kind of just keep pushing it?
Kinda depends on the kid.
Okay. Fair. Yeah, that's fair. I kept pushing it. um, have you ever felt like your voice mattered in a decision in school?
Can you elaborate?
No. um, let me see. Okay, so when you have your one-on-ones, when you're disputing a test grade or score or your grade, right? And you bring up a valid point, um, do you think they actually take what you say into account, or is it always this, or is it more like this is the way I graded it, this is the score, deal with it, and now it's this conversation of like I don't like it, and they're like, well, tough. Like, do you think like if you have a issue or a complaint with anything that they would actually listen and attempt to like when okay, how about when you talk to them, do you think they actually give a shit? Like, do you think they
No.
care when no?
Mm-mm.
No? Oh, no. Why do you think that?
Because kids these days don't really have respect. I haven't really met much people who, like, actually, like, tried to figure something out unless the teacher tells them to.
Alright. Let's get into some mental health and support. Um, does your school offer good support for mental health and emotional challenges? Other than you get an extra couple of minutes on your break or out of class early or you have a long break? Do they, like earlier, you said that you wish they understood more that kids need a break. So if you ever told your teacher, like, hey, I'm overwhelmed, is there any kind of support or they kind of like just deal with it and get over it?
I mean, there's counselors. I've actually I online, I haven't really seen that much.
Okay.
'Cause, again, it's easier online than it is in person, so it's not that common.
Right. Because you can
Uh,
always just disengage, kind of just find your own happy place
yeah.
versus like in person where you have to like, I got to get out of here. Okay.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, yeah, again, there's counselors.
Yeah.
If you're going through, like, a really hard time and, like, you can't pay attention in school, I think that's when a counselor can be involved. But other than that, if you tell a teacher, like, "I'm sick, I don't think I can, like, participate or pay attention that much," they'll understand, but they won't really do anything to fix it.
Will they ever ask any probing questions? Like, if you're just uh, like, example, like, if you were just like, "Hey, I'm just not having a good day," will they, like, probe and ask a little bit about, like, is it just because, like, it's early morning, or, like, will they attempt to see if there's, like, an underlining, like, you're depressed, like, type thing? So if you're just not in the mood and I'm just, like, not feeling it, like, I'm sorry I'm not, like, engaging like I normally do you think they would, attempt to try to figure out and understand what is going on with you a little bit?
Maybe,
Okay.
because I haven't seen that in online school yet, but in public school, they would ask me questions about that. But no, I haven't really seen it online because I just wanna get done with the lesson, so
Do you wish the teachers gave a little bit more, like, one-on-one attention? Not necessarily a lot, but, like, 15 minutes a week, just check in with you and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" And kinda just get like, would you like it if your teacher got to know you on a personal level a little bit more, like some of your likes and your dislikes and just what you did this weekend?
yeah.
Okay,
Sometimes they ask me that on, like, the weekends. They usually do that
okay.
on the weekends.
What do you do when you're feeling overwhelmed at school?
I cry, not gonna lie, I cry. Um, but, like, to fix it, I just kinda lay down, I listen to music. Sometimes I just shut off the computer completely. Cause my mom will understand, my parents will understand. Um, they'll try to help me through it. I can tell my teacher. They'll be like, "Okay, I'll help you," or I can exempt it if I'm like something really bad's happening.
Mm.
Um, but for me, yeah, I usually just cry, try to calm myself down. I pray a lot.
What do you get overwhelmed about?
If there's like a really big project and I have like a lot of other stuff to do, like for my other classes, and like I don't have time to do the project, I'll start like worrying about my grade and like try to get everything done in like an hour, but I can't because it's a big project. So that, and also again I set high standards for myself. So if I have a grade below like 85, like I won't start crying because of that. Like because I like, okay, it's like 80, I can go get it to an 85. But if it's like a D, I'll start crying because I don't know what I did wrong.
Does the household, like, does your parents and your brother know when you're upset or overwhelmed? Like, do you like, I'm pretty sure they see they might notice you crying, but, like, do they know why and or do they try to help at all?
They try to help, but they have to ask me why I'm upset before like they can try to help. So they won't understand immediately. Sometimes they
Right.
will, because if my mom, like, gets an email like that I have a bad grade, she'll be like, "Oh, maybe that's why."
You never go to them first and be like, "Ah, I'm losing it."
Sometimes I do.
Okay.
Sometimes I try to fix it by myself.
Do you think as you get older and then further into high school, do you think the workload will get more? And are you worried and stressed? Like, not stressing now, but like, do you think you will get more and then you're going to be overwhelmed more when you get into high school?
Probably.
Do you have any, I'm trying to think, because that's still like, it's kind of like, it's weird to kind of think, because you can think ahead, like the next couple of years in school, but you never like really, like, you can think about like what classes you're going to take, what kind of colleges you want to do and everything else. But like, I don't like the idea, like, do you ever sit down and be like, all right, if it gets too bad, here's what I'm going to do. If I'm too overwhelmed, here's my game plan. Here's how I would resolve it. Like, or do you kind of just roll with it and hope it works out?
If it gets to a point, I'll tell my parents, obviously, so they can, like, maybe, like, during the day, like, my chores, they can maybe cut down on that so I have more time to work on it or something.
Okay.
I often contact my teachers a lot or talk to a counselor. I've been talking to a counselor on online, though, because I don't really know them, so
I was for whatever reason, I got really close with my counselors in high school because one of my electives was working in the counselor's office. So for like 2 years, that's all I did was just hung out there for an hour. And I was, and I'm very social to begin with. So I'm just like hanging out with everybody and just chit chatting. Um, but it is weird well, okay. It can be weird because it is online. So you do kind of lose, that like face to face interaction a little bit. And with you being online, it's easier to kind of like forget you and lose track of you. As opposed to like if I was moping around through school, people would be like, "What's going on with this guy?" Um, okay, I get it. If you could change one thing about how your school handles students' well-being, what would it be?
Guys, I don't even know how they handle well-being in the first place. Um, Again, I rarely see someone have a breakdown during class or, like, say that they're being that, like, they're stressed and, like, wanna talk to a counselor. I don't see that. So, I don't know.
All right. Well, and again, I think what's going to be interesting is like what Mark and Alice say since they were more in school, because there is a disconnect. I believe, like I feel there's a disconnect, um, being online. Not necessarily that it's bad, but there are definitely opportunities and moments that I think get lost in that virtual world. Um, Interesting. Well, thank you. Those are pretty much all the questions I had specific to uh, school culture and your academic pressures. Do you have any questions or anything for me?
Did teachers, like, actually give a shit about you guys back in the day?
Did they what?
Did they, like, actually care about, like, if you're stressed or they just like, "Get over it"?
So what's interesting is maybe not every teacher, but it's like there. Yes. So uh, there's 6 teachers a year that I would see, right? So at least I'd say half of them generally gave a shit about what was going on with me. Um, my counselor, um, my junior year cared enough that like I was like in a random conversation, I made a joke that like I can't read. And she's like, "Why do you think that?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just joking." And she took the 10 extra minutes to kind of ask a couple more questions. And then we find out that I'm dyslexic.
Oh.
So so my junior year I found out like why I sucked every year of school. Um there's a couple um there was and what's weird is that every once in a while, and I think you have to recognize it when the teacher is kind of reaching out to you, even if it's a little like small. Like I had this one teacher, I don't know, I don't remember much. I think his name was Mr. Can, but out of nowhere, he was like, "Watch this movie. I think you would enjoy it." And I have no idea why he thought that, but it was the movie Red Violin, and I absolutely love that movie. So it's just like it's interesting because I wasn't real close with him, but he saw something in me and or in my writing because he's my English teacher, like to make that suggestion to be like like I look at it and be like something he saw something in me in which he was like, I'm going to make a suggestion to this kid, and he did, and I absolutely love that movie. And then it kind of opened my eyes to different type of like film because Red Violin is a very artsy kind of movie. It's not like I love it. I think it's really interesting. Um, but yeah, it's just kind of fun to kind of see uh, that some teachers will kind of reach out a little bit, notice something, and then try to encourage whatever passion it is that they saw in me. Um, like my stagecraft teacher, because I used to build the stages for the school plays. So, like, she noticed, some stuff, so she kept giving me a little bit more work, and kind of pushing me a little bit more than some of the others because she knew I enjoyed it, and that's where I found my love for the stage and for, theater. So it's kind of weird. Um, I think some of the better teachers were, like, real low key about it, where, they weren't so aggressive, but they did take the time to kinda just get to know me just a little bit
Mhm.
and understand where I was coming from, and then made whatever suggestion or uh, kind of talked me through whatever was going on in like life at the time. So there are a few, not a lot. Um, again, I've seen probably what 25 teachers in my whole career, and there's probably like 4 or 5 that I think made an impact that I can still contribute to today. Do you have a teacher or anybody like that?
On online, no. But in person, I did have a counselor I was really close to and a teacher.
Okay, very nice. You ever reach back out to him and say thank you?
No, but the funny thing is about the teacher, I have her phone number and she literally lives like less than a mile to me. I know where she lives. Kind of creepy, but
You just like knocking on the door.
what's up?
Um, uh, not necessarily right away. Give it a little bit of time, but I'm a big fan of like reach back out to him every once in a while. Like nothing crazy. Like if it's like your first grade teacher, like no, that's long gone. But yeah, if you ever have a chance or an opportunity to say thank you, I think it's pretty cool. Do you have anybody outside of school that has that has kind of impacted you like that? Where
My
like
mother.
your mom? Well, obviously moms. Moms are the shit, man.
They are. They definitely are.
Very cool. All right. You got
I do
anything
have a
else?
question for you, not
Yes.
really related to what we were talking
Yes.
about the podcast
Let's do it.
today. Um, so the recommendations from like a couple podcasts ago with me and you, did you read any of the recommendations from like the
Then
webtoon or like even the animes?
um I was reading the what was that? I did start reading the whatchamacallit one.
You can
What's
explain
I
it
don't
so we
remember the
all
name.
know.
What?
You can explain
It's
it
the
so we
one
all know.
where she died and then
To
she
whom I
woke
know
up
me
and it
longer
was
concern.
yeah. Um I I watch some anime, but the problem I have is I have to watch them dubbed
Me too, guys.
because
Me
I
too.
can't because I can't read and I don't have most of the anime I watch is typically on like Hulu or Netflix. So um I don't know. I try to pick up some anime every once in a while, but I don't know specifically which ones you recommended and if I've watched them yet. Give me one right now. I'll watch it this weekend. Something on Hulu or Netflix or
Mm.
HBO.
A lot of the animes I watch are on Crunchyroll and only on
See, that's
Crunchyroll.
what I'm
Let me think
saying.
about that for a second. I would say Jujutsu Kaisen because it's on Netflix, but it's only season 1 on Netflix, which I don't like. Um,
I'll do it.
okay, Jujutsu
Do
Kaisen then.
you do you ever typically so you're big on like the ninja fantasy anime in the horror horror stuff? Do you ever do like one on Netflix called Blue Period, I think? It's about a kid in school who wants to learn how to paint.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like it's like 8 episodes, and it's like, do you ever watch any of those, like, weird, like, kinda sappy ones that are kinda like there's no action at all, but it just tells, like, kind of like a really interesting story. Do you ever watch any of those?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, we're gonna put them in the chat. but Blue Period is one of my favorite. I think you would actually enjoy it. It's pretty interesting. Jock, super smart, sees a painting and realizes he's like, why do I feel something about this painting and I don't know what it is. So he just like he scraps his entire senior year and he's like, I'm gonna dedicate everything to painting and trying to learn how to paint and everything. So you follow this guy's journey on he becomes a better painter. Um Trying to think. I watched like the most random stuff. But yeah, we'll put them in the chats and now we'll watch the first season this week. So before next month, I got it. And then I'll ask for another one when I'm done.
Okay.
All right. Well, I thank you for hanging out.
You're welcome. Thank you
Yeah,
for having me on here.
definitely. I will definitely get the questions for you for next month, and so you can let your friend know. And it's going to be interesting. I think it'll be fun. I think it would be cool to have someone else come in and hang out. You excited? Are you nervous?
I don't know what we're gonna talk about, so I'm nervous and excited. Because if you're gonna ask them to call me out on some stuff, I'm gonna leave. But
No, no. It would probably be very similar to like getting to. It will. There'll be some about the two of you, but some of it would kind of just be like asking them a bunch of questions about like, did they listen to podcasts? Would they listen to a podcast? Would they do a podcast? Um, like, what are their hobbies? You know, how do they deal with like stress? Um, are they worried about college? You know, what are some of the things that they're self-conscious about? Similar to what we did last year for that first episode. Kind of just dive a little bit into kind of get their perspective of things a little bit.
mm, I
But
was
we'll
gonna
still have
ask
fun
about
with
that
it.
though. Do you think we could have time to just like talk about random shit if when we have a guest? Because I want to laugh.
I will make sure that there's plenty of laughs
Yay.
because I want to get them. I'll get them. I'll give them some like some general questions, kind of get them thinking a little bit. Do you ever think going back? Do you ever think about the first like couple episodes or all of last season about doing the podcast?
Yes, I remember when I was just sitting there with the dean. We were both just like, I don't know what to say. I
It
kept
was
the
so
answer short and sweet. That's what I can say. Now I'm all giggly and happy and just like,
you're rocking back and forth. You got the lights on. I can see you. The first like Dean was probably the most noticeable because he was like real low and off to the side, lights off. um, it's like it's weird because they're very small, subtle differences that I can see because no one else can see them. Um, but I do have the video from all of these. So like 4 years from now, what would be cool is um, like I could put together like a couple of minutes of every episode over like
oh
the
hell
four
no.
years.
Oh my gosh. I'd probably cringe so many times.
That was the fastest hell no I've ever heard. Oh man. Uh I
I
would
need
definitely
to
send it to you and your
honestly
mom.
judge myself, but
I don't know, man. I'm excited. Like there's gonna be a moment, like when you have kids, like the idea that you can be like, hey kids, here's what I looked like when I was a teenager. And you have this like this montage of just like 4 years of random podcasts of just like everything like I don't know, it could be fun. That's so funny. All right. Well, you
maybe
have a
when
good
I'm more
weekend.
older, my kids are gonna witness me from this age because I made a promise to myself that I'm going to force those kids to watch anime. There's no
You
escape.
should.
Exactly when they come out of the womb, I'm putting on Demon Slayer. No one cares who
Anime,
they are. No one
like
cares.
it'll be weird to think about what anime looks like 10 years from now. Cause like anime is
Oh
just
my
like,
gosh, that would be
it's
weird.
like growing exponentially. And some
Dude,
of like,
everything's gonna be AI in the future, I swear.
there's so many deep, like what's interesting about anime and versus like regular, like animated shows, the Japanese, like they know how to tell a story, man. Like
Mhm.
they can really get into like like the feels of a story. Like the idea, like every once in a while, there's a couple episodes like Naruto that like I don't cry, but like I feel something. Like there's like between the dialogue and the music and everything, I'm just like, this is genius stuff, man. Like anime is weird. I love it though. All right. Demon Slayer, like so let's see. So you're gonna have kids like 10 years from now. So you're gonna make your kids watch 20-year-old anime?
Yes, I am.
Do you watch 20-year-old anime?
Actually, Black Butler was came out. The manga came out in like 2006, and the anime adaptation came out in 2008. So it's been pretty long since that, and it's my favorite anime. So
You ever watch Akira or Ninja Scroll?
no.
Ninja Scroll and Akira were the two. So Akira is the anime that brought. So it was the one that brought anime to the U.S. Like before that, it was still way underground. Like nobody cared. So and Akira hits, and now all the U.S. love anime. And then Ninja Scroll was like it's like a cult classic. It was really interesting. It's like a 2-hour movie, just ninjas and doing ninja things. Um, I'll see if I can find you copies of those. But I think they're but like those are old timey. Akira was like 1988. You should watch it 100%. I think you'd dig it.
Hey.
Neo, yeah, Neo Japan, and then it's like motorcycles and like two motorcycle gangs just hanging out, getting into it. All right. All right. Well, you have a fantastic month. I will see you next month with a friend. Oh my God, I'm
Okay.
excited. Is she gonna have to call in or is she gonna come over?
She literally lives like she's 2 hours ahead of me, so she's in another state. So she's gonna have to
Okay.
call in.
All right, deal. Well, we'll figure out how to make that work, but I'm confident we can make it work.
Me too, good. Me too.
All right. You have a good night. Thank you.
Bye.
Whimsy.